there is only one final slot available at the holiday special. Rates below. The VIP Elite Holiday Special package is available for only 0.85 Bitcoin for 3 months. Only 1.95 Bitcoin for 1 year plus 3 month free. Only 4.25 Bitcoin for lifetime. Awesome. With that said, hey, what is going on everyone? Sunny Decree here and welcome back to another episode. Some people have been asking on my German YouTube channel Sunny Decree DE about trading bots and paid group leaders. So this is going to be just a short one. I'm going to give you guys my opinion and I'm going to tell you why most of these offerings are just scammy. And as always, if you guys like this kind of content, don't forget to leave a like and also subscribe to the channel. And now let's get started. So let's first start with the obvious scams. And before some people are going to say, hey, why are you saying this right now? You were involved with BitConnect. Well, yes, it is true. I was in BitConnect. I even promoted BitConnect. But of course, I always told people this is the highest investment risk I've ever taken. And back in the days, even though some people are saying it was kind of obvious, I can tell you it wasn't. First of all, we were in a bull market, so all the people were blind and greedy. And secondly, all the articles against BitConnect before the ones that I did, well, they were not really good. Well, basically, they were just saying BitConnect is a Ponzi scheme, but they did not really have proof for that, right? We actually changed that on this YouTube channel. I remember that some of my community members wrote to MasterCard and Visa when BitConnect faked a cooperation there, and we got a clear answer, no, there is no cooperation, and they will check, so BitConnect has to remove those logos. So at some point, especially after the NL ceremony, after Carlos Matos and so on, it was clear, and then I started to warn people about BitConnect. I told them they should withdraw their investments, and approximately 2 months later, BitConnect went down. I got a lot of hate from the BitConnect community because first I was in it, right, and then I turned against it. But that is what it takes. Now, maybe you think that those platforms, they do not exist anymore. You are wrong. They still exist. There are still communities who are actively supporting copies of BitConnect, like arbitraging, for example. This is one I follow a little bit, what's going on over there and stuff like that. And it looks like the exit scam is already running. People are undercutting the prices. They cannot really sell their tokens anymore. So basically all these people who are still in here, they're sitting on a bag, which is, well, let's put it that way, not performing all too well. We're talking about a price of $12 once, and right now the token is at 34 cents. So it doesn't really look all too good. For some people out there, it is actually clear. But I want to remind you that after BitConnect, there was Regal Coin, there was Falcon Coin, there was Swiss Coin. There were so many other different copies of BitConnect where people invested because they still couldn't believe it that this model is not sustainable. And I can tell you, well, it is not. If you have a token or if you have a platform like here arbitraging, for example, and they tell you, well, they do arbitrage trading for you, it is a scam. Just flat out. There is no company, there is no project out there who is making money constantly for all these people who are investing. Okay, so rule number one, and of course for some people this sounds kind of silly, but for beginners this is actually quite good, and a lesson that they, well, maybe I can help them not to find out or not to learn their lesson themselves. But if there's a platform who looks like BitConnect or like arbitraging in here and they're telling you that they're doing arbitrage trading for you, they have a token, a platform, exchange and so on, well, it's a scam. Just don't invest in it. But now it's actually getting a little bit trickier. What about those people who are telling you they have a trading bot and they show you results and they want to sell you the trading bot? Not with a token, not with a platform, you know, not for the masses, but more for the classes, like CoinTrend in here. This is actually a German YouTube channel, so maybe you never heard of it, but in the German community, a lot of people are actually firing against this YouTube channel. As you can see here, for example, 86 likes, 171 dislikes, and that's not normal. And people are actually asking in here, who is so stupid to, buy into this bot? And the costs are actually quite high. Now, what can I tell you here? Well, do you really believe? You just have to ask yourself that question. If someone finds a trading bot or if someone builds a trading bot who is trading profitable, why would they sell it to you? What is the reason for that? I mean, if you think about it, it makes no sense at all game theory wise, right? Of course, they are getting more Bitcoin, so for them it's good, right? They're selling it. But what should the bot do for you? If that bot would really work, do you really think that the owner would like you to trade with the exact same bot? No. Definitely not. And at some point, if too many people are using the same strategy, the same bot, well, it doesn't work anymore. Well, of course, on this level, we're not getting to that point, but you kind of understand what I'm saying, right? So basically, also these offers, well, 99.9% of them are just scams. Of course, for them, it's nice. They're getting your Bitcoin, but you probably end up with a bot, which is definitely not performing. I mean, here it says 1,200% in 2018. That is actually a flat 12x gain in a deep-ass bear market. Do you really think that's possible? I think we all agree it's not. So what is the only way to make a trading bot work? Well, it is actually hard work. And this is not sponsored by Haus Online or anything like that. But this is one of the softwares that I tested where you can build your own trading bot with your own strategy. And that is pretty much the only solution that I personally can find, which is something if you want to work with trading bots, well, this is something you might try. Buy into a platform, you have to pay a little bit of Bitcoin there as well, so you can use their platform or their interface, right? And then you can build your own strategy. But I can tell you already, it's hard work. Even the backtesting, I was just with backtesting that took me like 1 day to find a strategy where it was like, okay, during the bear market in 2018, that strategy would have been slightly profitable. But then I figured if I would have run the bot during the last bear market, it would have performed way worse. So most of the times, these strategies that you implement, even in those spots, they do not really work very well. I'm not saying it is impossible, because it definitely is possible. There are trading bots out there from professional institutions, but what I'm trying to say in here is that if you're not doing this full time, if you're not know exactly what you are doing, and if you're not one of the 0.1%, well, you're not going to make money, not even with bots that you set up yourself with a platform like Haus Online. Now let's talk about paid group leaders. Maybe you already figured, well, that those prices are actually quite high. Just think about with how many Bitcoin you actually have to trade and use those signals to be profitable. I mean, if we're just talking about a year in this offering here, only 1.95 Bitcoin for 1 year. So what do you think? How much gains you can actually make during a year? Let's say a realistic number, let's say 10% for example. So that already means you have to trade with 20 Bitcoin. But if you're trading with 20 Bitcoin, you should already be on a level where you do not really need such a service, right? I mean, that is already a lot of money and you should manage that yourself and definitely not listen to someone who is telling you what to do. All right, but most likely you're not going to make 10%, you're going to make less if you're even going to make profits. So you already need a bigger stack. So you see what I'm trying to say? So that this offer, let's say this offer is real. Let's say this trader in here is really good and makes a lot of profits for his members. How much Bitcoin do you actually need with the strategy so you even get out of what you're paying for? Once again, I'm not saying that all of the paid group leaders out there are bad, but it's pretty much the same concept. I would say 99.9% are, and they most likely look like this.
Oh, no, 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 no.
First of all, learn to manage your funds yourself. Secondly, never get involved in trading bot platforms. Never pay a paid group leader for signals. Don't join signal groups because they just distract you from what you should actually be doing. And last but not least, if you want to build your own trading bot with a platform where you can implement your strategy, you have to know this is going to be a lot of work. And when I'm talking about a lot of work, I'm talking about a full-time job for multiple weeks or even months, so you can always keep track exactly what the bot is doing. This is reality. Sometimes it hurts, and sometimes I would wish myself that things would actually be easier to multiply my Bitcoin, but the reality is it's not. Alright guys, that is it already for today. Thank you all very much for watching, and I hopefully see you all in the next one. Bye!